A poor maid rescued a millionaire's son from the flames. But when she heard 2 words, her heart froze. The scream pierced the air like glass shattering. It wasn't loud enough for the neighbors to hear yet, but to her it was deafening. Maya dropped the mop from her gloved hands. It hit the marble floor of the mansion's kitchen with a wet smack, water sloshing everywhere. She turned her head sharply toward the hallway and saw the first curls of black smoke drifting low along the ceiling like fog creeping under a door. "Ethan," she called out, heart instantly pounded. "Baby, where are you?" There was no answer. She didn't wait. Maya tore off the apron strings, flung her cleaning cloth aside, and sprinted barefoot down the long hallway. The mansion was massive, lined with polished portraits and untouched furniture, but none of that mattered now. The smoke was thickening. The air was getting hot. By the time she reached the bottom of the stairs, she saw it. The fire had started in the study. The expensive drapes were already ablaze. Orange flames licked the high ceilings. Heat blasted her face like an open oven. The smoke alarm hadn't even gone off yet. And worst of all, she heard a sound. A cough. A small choking terrified cough. "Ethan," she screamed. Then she saw him. A 5-year-old white boy, golden blonde hair matted with soot, stood frozen at the top of the stairs. A smudge of ash stirred down his cheek. He clutched a brown teddy bear tightly to his chest. Paralyzed with fear, the fire was spreading upward fast. The stairs groaned. Maya didn't think. She ran up the stairs through the smoke. Her bare feet hit the hot wood, each step burning, but she didn't stop. Ethan let out a weak whimper and she scooped him up in one swift motion. His tiny hands gripped her neck, trembling. "I got you. I got you, baby," she whispered, coughing, shielding his face with her shoulder. The hallway behind them roared, then lit up. The flames were everywhere now. The back stairwell was already blocked. The heat was suffocating. Her eyes burned. She turned, holding him tight, and ran for the nearest window. They were on the 2nd floor. Maya kicked the window frame with her foot. Once, twice. On the 3rd try, the glass cracked. She grabbed a metal lamp nearby and smashed it, sending shards outward. The boy cried out as smoke closed in. The teddy bear dropped from his hand. Maya grabbed it. "I told you I got you." She climbed onto the windowsill, hugged the boy close, and without a second thought jumped. The fall wasn't far, but the landing was brutal. Her knees buckled as she hit the grass. Pain shot through her ankle, but she didn't let go of the child. She curled around him protectively, shielding him as they tumbled into the lawn. Behind them, the mansion belched fire through the windows. The roof popped and a violent blast of heat rippled across the driveway. Glass shattered. The front porch collapsed. And finally, the smoke alarms wailed. Maya rolled over, gasping for breath. Ethan was sobbing, face buried in her neck. She held him tighter. People started to scream from far away. Neighbors running out of their houses. A woman shouted, "Oh my God, there's a fire." A man pulled out his phone, already dialing 911. But Maya wasn't paying attention to any of that. Because as the boy slowly lifted his head, still clutching his bear, he whispered something that made her blood run cold. 2 words. 2 tiny broken words that didn't belong in the mouth of a child that age. They knew. Maya blinked, still panting, her heart hammering. "What?" Ethan stared back at the burning house, tears streaking down the soot on his face. "They knew I was inside." Her spine stiffened. The sirens were faint in the distance now, growing louder. But Maya couldn't move. She looked from the boy to the house, then to the shiny red convertible parked neatly in the driveway, untouched. Untouched by flames. Her hands trembled. The child's mother had left that morning without a word. His father was in Europe for a business trip. No staff remained except her. And yet, the alarm didn't go off. The fire was too fast. And the front door? It had been locked from the outside. She hadn't noticed it in her panic, but now the puzzle pieces were clicking into place. Too fast, too quiet, too deliberate. The boy had nearly died alone, and no one would have known if Maya hadn't been there. She stared at the flames again, her arms tightening protectively around Ethan. "I've got you," she whispered once more, this time with a tremble in her throat. But this wasn't over. Not even close. Maya sat on the grass, still holding Ethan as fire crew surrounded the smoking wreck of the mansion. The boy's words haunted her. They knew I was inside. And worse, he had said they, not just she, the mother. Someone else knew, but who? Maya barely noticed the medics bandaging her ankle or the oxygen mask gently pressed to Ethan's face. She was too focused on the puzzle, on the door that had been locked from the outside, on the strange silence, on how quickly the fire had spread as if it had been waiting for the right moment. Within an hour, the truth began to crack. Investigators found signs of a deliberate setup. A gas leak traced to a candle in the study. The front door's lock scratched from outside tampering. Smoke alarms disconnected. Security footage from the main server was gone. But someone forgot the offset backup. When reviewed, the footage revealed a chilling scene. Mrs. Cartwright exiting the house, looking back once at her son, then locking the door behind her. She spoke into her phone, muffled but clear. "He'll sleep through anything." That wasn't neglect. That was intent. But then, where was the boy's father? Daniel Cartwright, billionaire tech investor, global speaker, almost never home, was found 3 days later, still abroad in Switzerland. When police contacted him, he was stunned. He had been told by his wife that Ethan was staying safely with her mother while repairs were being done. He hadn't even known Maya was working there. When he landed back in the States, Daniel demanded to see his son. But first, he was shown the footage. His knees buckled in the viewing room. Silent tears ran down his face. "She told me she loved him," he whispered. "She said she was taking care of him. I didn't know. I didn't know." Later, when he met Maya for the first time in the hospital hallway, he didn't speak. He just looked at her, this exhausted, bandaged black woman in a cheap coat and burnt-touched apron, and said, voice shaking, "Thank you for being braver than all of us." Maya nodded, holding back tears. "I didn't do it for a reward," she said. "I did it because he was just a little boy." The case went public fast. Maid saves millionaire's son from blaze. Child's words reveal chilling truth behind family fire. Heroic worker exposes betrayal that could have killed a child. Mrs. Cartwright was arrested and charged with arson, insurance fraud, and attempted murder. A second bombshell dropped when it was revealed that the family trust worth $28 million would have reverted to her in the event of Ethan's accidental death. And Maya? She had no legal standing at first. She was paid cash under the table. No contracts, no protection. But Ethan made sure the world heard her name. When Child Services tried to place him temporarily with distant relatives, he refused to speak. For days, he wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep. The only words he whispered were, "I want Maya." And when the court hearing came, the boy stood holding her hand and told the judge, "She saved me. She came into the fire, I want to live with her." The room went silent. Daniel Cartwright, seated behind the lawyer's bench, stood slowly. Everyone turned toward him. "I wasn't there when my son needed me," he said quietly. "But she was. I'm not asking for full custody. I'm asking that Maya stay in his life as his guardian. She's earned more than that title. She's earned our family's trust." And in a stunning decision, the judge granted joint guardianship. Maya is Ethan's primary caregiver, with Daniel offering financial support, co-decision rights, and a public commitment to reform his absence. Later, as they left the courthouse, reporters swarmed. "Maya, how does it feel to go from maid to guardian of a millionaire's son?" She didn't flinch. She looked down at Ethan, who gripped her fingers tightly, his teddy bear tucked under one arm. Then she looked into the cameras, and said softly, "I wasn't just a maid. I was someone who stayed when it mattered." That quote would go viral. Daniel Cartwright publicly apologized, founded a children's fire safety foundation in Maya's name, and transferred a portion of Ethan's trust into her care for housing, schooling, and a future she had never dreamed of having. But for Maya, the real reward came quietly. In the little apartment where they now lived, safe, modest, warm. She tucked Ethan into bed one night, his arms still wrapped around that same singed teddy bear. He looked up, eyes wide, voice hushed. "Do you think the fire will come back?" She kissed his forehead gently. "No, baby," she whispered. The fire is gone, and I'll never let it near you again." He nodded, closed his eyes, and for the first time in days, he slept soundly. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.